Ironically, they all have merged long ago. Let's not only look at the three Abrahamic religion, Judaism, Christianity and Islam, but the Canaanite, Akkad and Sumerians. The Sumerian religion is the original religion bringing on the conceptualization of anthropomorphic theism written about in 3200 BC. There were no other religions before it. The Sumerians made God in our image. All religions after them prayed conceptually at their altar. The Canaanite adopt their religion in 2315 BC, adapting their own named gods, El and 70 Elohim. Worshipped by all nomadic Semites under the ruling advanced sedentary Canaanites, yes, even the 12 tribes known as Shem Semites. The Akkad adopt the Sumerian religion after 2315 BC, adapting it with their Semitic tongue Anu and Anunnaki. Judaism. The remaining two tribes known as subjects of the Kingdom of Judea, as the 10 tribes, who disappeared in 722 BC plus the ancestors of all of them back to 2315 BC, worshipped the Canaanite version with the Canaanite names El and 70 Elohim till 456 BC officially, before bringing on the Judaic version after 456 BC with only one Canaanite god Elohe Yahweh, whom they use with O vowels as YHWH since then. There is no Judaic name for an of God. Christianity, as of 33 AD, is said to stem from Judaism, but as Judaism has a Canaanite god YHWH, how can we fathom that Jesus is the son of a Canaanite god YHWH, or as his brother, or both are sons of El, further that El is the father of YHWH and Jesus is the son of YHWH? How could Jesus stem from a punitive, fire and brimstone god YHWH while displaying love, forgiveness, eschatology and harmony? Islam has a god called Allah in Arabic, begun in 590 AD by the Prophet Muhammad, holding on to much of what is included in Judaism and Christianity. All three say that they pray to the same god with different names, but none ever mention historically those other versions or the Sumerian original that came before them. P.S. The Sumerian are said to originate from the Indus Valley some 6 KYRS ago. Where did they get their concepts from? Well, Christianity is just a continuation of Judaism, so one could say they're still the same when you look at the Protestant Bible, because it's literally as the Hebrew Bible. Protestants tend to read the Bible in the original two languages, Hebrew and Greek. We know Jesus spoke 4 languages, maybe more, and read them. We disregard Latin at times because of our history with them. Protestants value knowledge. We also brought reading to the whole world by being the first to print the Bible in all languages. At that time you just had to take the Pope's word for it. And you saw the problem with that. Catholics, on the other hand, do not base their beliefs on the Bible alone. Along with the Holy Scripture, they are additionally bound by the traditions of the Roman Catholic Church. Catholics and Protestants have a different view on the nature of the Church. Muhammad didn't know how to read or write in his native tongue and made a lot of mistakes in the Quran, which makes him completely incompatible with the Bible in many ways. Historians are pretty certain Allah is just a moon deity and one of the strongest of 361 pagan deities during Muhammad's time. Consider what the ancient pagan Arabians did to worship their moon god, Allah. They prayed while bowing toward Kaaba, the house of Allah in Mecca that houses a meteorite, a rock from space, several times a day, visited it once a year, and walked around it several times during their visit. Same thing today. Even his followers thought it was silly. It was narrated that Umar came to the black stone and kissed it, then he said, "I know that you are only a stone which can neither bring benefit nor cause harm. Were it not that I had seen the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, kiss you, I would not have kissed you." Narrated by al-Bukhari, 1520, Muslim, 1720. This is utterly impossible in Christianity and Judaism. Here's why. Deuteronomy chapter 13, King James Version, KJV. 13 If there arise among you a prophet, or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder. 2 And the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. 3 Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your God proveth you, to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. 4 Ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. 5 And that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams, shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. Muhammad was killed by two things he thought most inferior: a Jew and a woman. A Jewess, Zainab bint al-Harith, Arabic, died 628, was a Jewish woman who lived in Khaybar, Arabia, in the early 7th century. She had brought Muhammad a poisoned lamb for good reason. Muhammad's companions dragged Zainab back into his presence demanding an explanation. She replied, "I was determined to kill you because of what you did to my people. You killed my father, my uncle and my husband. I thought that if you were a real prophet, the poison would not harm you, but if you were only an ordinary king, I would relieve every one of you." By his own testimony, he is a false prophet. Quran 69-44. And if Muhammad had made up about us some false sayings. 69-45. We would have seized him by the right hand. 69-46. Then we would have cut from him the aorta, la katana minhu al-watina. Narrated Aisha. The Prophet, in his ailment in which he died, used to say, "Oh Aisha. I still feel the pain caused by the food I ate at Khaybar, and at this time, I feel as if my aorta, is being cut, from that poison." Muhammad claimed to receive a revelation from Allah, that if he was a false prophet, Allah would cut his aorta. Muhammad before his death claimed his aorta was cut. Islamic apologists point out that the Arabic word watin is used in the Quran, while the hadiths use the word abar, but it doesn't matter because both these Arabic words refer to the aorta. It wouldn't look like anything. This is because these religions have nearly nothing to do with each other save for stories. For example, Christianity is the belief that there is a war between God and Satan for the souls of humanity. Jesus wins the war for God by dying and rising from the dead. Islam is the belief that life is a test. You pass the test by following the religion of Islam. Satan here is the one that tests you. These two world religions cannot be merged. It is logically not possible. Judaism has nothing to do with a war between God and Satan or life being a test. Judaism is the belief that God has decided that the Jews are his people, and has given them a land via an agreement, and the Jews must practice their religious rituals, commandants, their half of the agreement to remain his people and remain on the land. The Messiah in Judaism is a person who is supposed to re-establish Israel as a sovereign nation, and demonstrate that the God of the Jews is the only God worthy of belief and worship over every other god or religion on earth. Once again, these religions have nothing to do with each other. It is not possible.